I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, let's do a quick update now on the blog I did about a month ago on multiplexes being approved for all single-family lots in Vancouver. I did that blog last month on it, talking about, hey, this could be a good opportunity for builders and to get more density, although I wasn't too sure about how these numbers were going to come together, being able to build anywhere from 4 to 6 units depending on the size of the lot, stratified units and sell them, or in some cases you could build up to 8 rental units. But we're starting now to see a couple of early signs here on where these properties might be listed at. And you guys tell me, I still think that these numbers are there's not a whole lot of meat on the bones here, as they would say. And I've had a chance to talk to a couple more builders since last month. I've also had a couple more reach out to me. And here's the consensus I'm getting. Of all the ones I've talked to, most of them are saying I'm going to be on a wait and see type program right now. I'm not jumping on board with any of this right now. I want to see a couple of guys build some of these so I can get a feel for, you know, what they look like, what the product mix looks like. So that's, are we going to build 2 large 3-bedroom units and then a couple of smaller 1 dens? Are we going to build 3 2-bedroom units and then maybe a 1-bed? Are we going to build 1 4-bedroom unit and perhaps 3 smaller 2-beds? What is going to be the mix? Because on a lot of these, you would not have parking for every unit. So maybe the smaller units, of course, wouldn't have parking or street parking. The more expensive units, the 2 and 3 beds, would have a single single car garage. So the other thing I've talked about in that last video is it's just so much uncertainty because builders have never built anything like this. They're building essentially small apartment buildings when they're used to building maybe a duplex or perhaps a duplex with a garden suite, a 1-bedroom garden suite, which is currently allowed in certain areas. So now you've got, of course, if you're building a 6-plex, you've got 6 kitchens, you've got 6 hot water tanks, you've got 12, 13 bathrooms, I don't know. You've got 6 electrical panels. I think in some cases there you're probably going to have fire and sprinkler systems in there. So a lot of unknowns here for a lot of these builders. So the consensus I'm getting is, hey, I'll just, take my time. I'm not in any rush to build this. Plus, I've seen kind of what the price per buildable square foot is to buy the homes. After you buy the house, and then the cost to build and the 18 months to build it, hire a realtor like myself to market and list these homes. What is the proper product mix of this? Just a lot of unknowns. And is there really all that much money to be made here? Because after all, the developer is not going to take something like this on unless there's some money to be made for the risk that they're taking. And, right now, I said last video, I said, 10 years ago, this would have been incredible. They would have been all over these. Because 10 years ago, for what you were paying 2.5 now for a tear-down house, you could have bought for $1 million. And the building costs, the material costs and the cost to build now compared to 10 years ago is far, far higher. 15 years ago, this would have changed the entire landscape of Vancouver. You could have bought these homes on the east side for $650,000, $600K, built at a fraction of the cost per square foot that we're currently costs us to build per square foot. And they would have been a massive hit. They would have been all over these. Now, of course, it might be a day late and $1 short, but we'll see. It depends again on where the market goes, what these guys can secure the land for. And then, of course, maybe, our construction inflation starts to slow. Maybe our construction material costs start to come down over the next couple of years, which will make this more feasible and a lot more interest to builders. But here, I'll give you one that just got listed here. Give you an example of what they're trying to price these at. This is a house, just got listed, 5829 Granville Street. And it's listed by a commercial realtor, and unfortunately this commercial realtor doesn't know the difference between the West End and the West Side, because he grabbed me with the headline, prime West End location, build up to 6 units, 1.0 FSR. And I'm thinking, West End on Granville Street, that doesn't exist. As people know, the West End is in downtown Vancouver, bordered between Georgia Street and Burrard are the two main borders of the West End. It's prime real estate, probably the best real estate in downtown Vancouver. It's the only true residential real estate in Vancouver. Beautiful, tree-lined, quiet streets, high walk scores. It's the best of the best. But it's not in the West End. It's on the West Side, which this guy still needs to change his ad here. But it's at Granville and 41st. So this is a 79-year-old home, 3,000 square feet, but it's sitting on a 60 by 163 lot. So good sized lot. So in his agent's remarks here, in his MLS listing here, he says that, under the proposed fixed rate density contribution for multiplex, property falls under area B, so you're getting the bonus density from 0.7 FSR to a 1.0 FSR, which is what I verified in that blog last month. Had to do a lot of homework to finally get it, but yes, you can build a full 1.0 FSR. So the lot is 9,800 square feet. Right now, apparently you can build a full 1.0 FSR. So you can build a 9,800 square foot finished small apartment building on that, up to 6 units. So he goes on to say that comes in at $530 a square foot per buildable square foot. $530 per buildable square foot, which is correct. So, but the other thing, of course, is you're looking now at that other blog I did. I'm getting quotes of between $475, $550, $600 or more, depending on the finishings and what you're putting into these homes. Because first, it's not a home; it's a small apartment building. So you're adding that much and then some into the building cost. So you're now bumping this up to, I think, $1,300 a square foot, $1,400 a square foot, plus GST, plus your commissions to sell this home, these 6 units. So not cheap. I don't know how much meat is on the bones there. Now, it is West Side Vancouver, but it's Granville Street. Pretty busy street and near 41st. But I should point out, they're asking, I forgot to tell you, the price on this, $5.2 million. 5.2. It's tax assessed at 3.2. 3,000 square foot home. Now he goes on here to say that the house is in good condition and would likely generate $4,000 a month as a rental. Oh God. So not a good property to hold on to whatsoever. I mean, $4,000 a month and you're paying 5.2 for the home. Listen, I'm going to talk to you in a minute here. I'm selling home condos in the West End that we're buying for $550, $600 and a quarter that will rent for $3,000 a month. So a fraction of the purchase price here. So this would not make a good holding property for very long. $4,000 a month, which is probably about right for an old house like this on Granville Street, but you're paying $5.2 million for it. So, I don't know. You guys be the judge on this. I'm optimistic. I'd like to see some of these get built. I think maybe, I know they will. It's going to be a slow trickle in, though. There is no rush to build these from what I hear right now from any builders I've talked to. Everyone's on a wait-and-see attitude. I'll let a few other guys go first. You buy the house for 5.2. You build the 6 units. You price them, come up with the proper product mix. I'll come and take a look at them, and then we'll follow it and see exactly how much you sell these units for and what your profit margin's on it. Because after all, they're not going to touch these unless they've got a pretty good idea and a pretty decent profit margin considering all the risk. This is probably going to take 18 months to get all approved and built. You've got holding costs. You've got GST when you sell it. You're going to have to sell 6 homes. You're having well into 6 figures in real estate commissions to sell these. So there's a lot of risk here. I should point out it's a 60 wide lot. So the guy does say, they could probably build at minimum a 5-car garage in back. So hey, that's okay. You might be able to squeeze 6 cars back there. So that's a big plus with this. Most of the units could have parking, but 5.2 million. I think you're looking at probably that much. That's $530 per buildable square foot for the land. I think you're looking at that much and then some to build. Add it all up with your holding costs and everything else, you're probably, into this for around $1,300 a square foot. And gee, at $1,300 a square foot, you can get a 2-bed, 2-bath, 2 parking, concrete building in downtown Vancouver. Matter of fact, I just showed one the other day in the West End. 11-year-old building, really incredible strata, listed for 1.3. It's 1,100 square feet, luxury finishings, 24-hour concierge, concrete, healthy contingency fund, low maintenance fees, and 2 parking spaces in the heart of the West End with a 98 walk score. This has a walk score of not great. You're going to get in your car for everything here. So might be a tough sell. We'll see where it goes. Builders right now, though, guys, are on a wait and see attitude with these multiplexes right now, and I don't blame them. I would wait at least until the cost for construction, maybe material costs, maybe that comes down a little bit in the next few years. And probably the other thing is interest rates. I don't think many of these guys are going to touch this right now at 6.4, 6.5%. Maybe when if interest rates come down a couple, 100 or 200 basis points, maybe they might get interested in something like this. But hey, I'm optimistic. Eventually, I'm hoping I end up selling one of these multiplexes, and I'm sure I will down the road. This is something, though, as far as an investment, what I do like. I've been telling you guys, I've been selling a lot of really high quality, older concrete units in the West End. Now, it's a minefield in the West End. There's a lot of not good strata in there. There's also a lot of rental buildings and co-ops and leaseholds that you don't want to go near. But, I'm selling these on a monthly basis. I have a short list of some really amazing older strata that are well maintained, prime locations. I've got stuff on Harwood, one that I just sold on Comox Street. This one I just sold on Comox Street, 630 square feet, 1 bed, 1 bath, fully renovated, 47-year-old building, prime location for $655K. And this unit will rent for $3,000 a month, compared to 5.2 million, and it'll get you $4,000 a month. So not a good holding property on that Granville one, but that's not what it's about. But the other thing with this one and a couple others that I've sold in the West End is these are sitting on tremendously valuable pieces of property. And in a lot of cases, they're double-sized lots. They would never build like this today. This one on Comox, for instance, you could put 2 towers on this lot and still have a lot of room left over for garden area and common area and a pool if you want and everything else. It's the same thing on some of the other ones that one building I've mentioned to you guys in passing. I've sold every 1-bedroom unit in this strata for the last over 2 years now. I've bought 6 already this year. Every 1-bedroom is listed. I'm trying to keep this streak alive. I just barely made it on my last sale. I had to go down my list of investors before I got one that, I'll write an offer on it. But sitting on a tremendous piece of property, and that is your white knight scenario with these. You're buying them for $550 to $625. They're renting between $25 to $3,000, maybe even a little bit more because the rental rates have gone through the roof. Keep it, hang on to it, and just give it time. 10 to 15 years from now, your exit strategy on this is going to be a developer who's going to come in and try and buy out the entire strata and give you a very nice premium. And they're going to turn around and build 2 luxury towers on these lots. I mean, the side yards on this one on Comox, it's a football field next door to it. The one I have on Harwood Street is half a football field and then another quarter football field on the other side of the building. They would never build this anymore. It's all building and structure, very little common area around the base of the building anymore because the land is so expensive. But good value out here. And lately I've been buying these I've still been writing these with subject-free offers to get the best price because I know the strata. And I've got all the docs and the depreciation reports, and I've got inspection reports on these buildings, and I'm right up to date on all the minutes. But last year, before these ones that I've been selling, some of these ones I've been selling, I was getting into bidding wars on these and having to go 20, 25K over asking subject free. Now I'm still going subject free, but I'm able to write these at $5,000, $10,000 below asking price. So in my opinion, pretty good value here, especially when you can buy it and either live in it as your principal residence. These are fantastic for first-time buyers, or put a tenant in it at the current rental rates that we're enjoying right now. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.